What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update that you guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely gonna want to check this one out. So we're now seeing that spotlight shining down on that earhead of Congress, AOC, in her latest ethics violation that is now threatening her seat as a United States representative, guys. And I'm excited to get into this one, so we're gonna hop straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
Now, one district that is actually seeing the effects of crazy liberals is AOC's district, and it's not doing well. And she herself is not doing well these days, you guys, because she is now under investigation for the Met Gala fiasco, where she wrote, what was it, eat the rich or tax the rich on her dress.
Same thing.
Yeah, eat the rich, tax the rich. Well, it turns out that she didn't pay for that dress, and there's all kinds of rules around how you use tickets. So her fiance got a free ticket. It's a $35,000 ticket, by the way, to go to the Met Gala. She went thinking she could, tax the rich dress and she'd erase all these problems. But now the investigation from Congress is saying you better pay up.
Yeah, it's truly extraordinary, and it's a nice, sweet little justice there for somebody who wants to attack the rich and then hang out with the rich. Look, at the same time,
AOC, she's a Neiman Marxist.
Yes, that's true.
She likes to wear the Gucci, the Louis Vuitton while being amongst the working class. And isn't that the champagne socialist types? It's exactly what the Democrat Party is made out of. And honestly, that is one of the reasons why their coalition has fallen apart. They see inherent contradiction between the stated principles and the life that they live. That's why Donald Trump was so awesome. He never apologized for coming in on his plane. No. He wore the red tie all the time. It's like, who wants a ride on my helicopter at the Iowa State Fair? It was unapologetic Americanism versus the inauthenticity of the Democrat
Here's the other part. Donald Trump is known for tipping out people.
Huge.
AOC didn't just break the congressional rules. She stiffed the makeup artist.
No good.
So over $400 for the makeup artist, and the makeup artist had to basically threaten to sue her and take her to, small claims courts before she paid it back. Imagine this champion of the people not paying a makeup artist who traveled out to do her hair and makeup for this, deluxe event. We talked about this in the makeup room. The makeup artists and the hairstylists were outraged. This is really, really egregious stuff.
We think of socialism, rightly so, as being dark, drab, lifeless, and it is. But for 100 years, every socialist system, under communism, you always have the glitterati. You always have people who are in power who make massive amounts of money, and all of the wealth goes to those people. And so it's not a defect in our system. It is actually a part of communism or socialism.
It's a feature of Marxism. That's right.
It's a feature of it. Yeah. She's the Eva Peron of the Bronx. Or where's she actually from? Westchester? I think it's Westchester. Sandy, the Eva Peron of Westchester.
Say it is not so, you guys. That was Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, once again with another ethics violation, taking essentially free tickets from the Met Gala. These tickets were valued at $35,000. I want you guys to see this headline, then we'll hop off into how she broke congressional rules once again. This is AOC scoring then boyfriend free $250 tickets to the Met Gala by calling him her spouse. So all she had to do was designate this guy as her spouse, and then she got this reward, this kickback for doing so. $250 ticket, guys. This is a $35,000 ticket. It's absolutely insane that she's getting it for that. I actually found a neat breakdown. It's coming from our friend Andrew Kerr on X. Check him out. And he kind of breaks down how Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez violated the Ethics Committee's rules with this award that she got, claiming her longtime partner, Riley Roberts, is and isn't her spouse. So she claimed both that he is and isn't her spouse. That's where it kind of gets technical. And I'm going to try not to confuse you guys, but AOC confused even me with this one. This is AOC allowing her spouse, or quote unquote spouse, special perks and freebies while also shielding his financial affairs from the public. So this is how it gets a little dicey. Okay, so the ethics committee apparently found evidence that Representative AOC listed Mr. Roberts as her spouse on paperwork filed with the House relating to privately sponsored travel, although the two were not legally married at the time of the gifted travel. Says the committee further notes that at the same time, Representative Ocasio-Cortez was seeking to take advantage of exceptions to the gift rule only applicable to spouses and or certain relatives. She was not disclosing Mr. Roberts' financial interests as is required of members who are legally married. All right, so let me break this down very quickly, as neat as possible. So basically, AOC declared this man, Mr. Roberts, as her spouse in order to receive these rewards, these gifts that you get that come with being a spouse of a member of the House. But then later on, she declared that he was not her spouse when it came to financial disclosure. So she didn't want to disclose or offer up any of his financial records. So it's kind of contradictory the way that she has classified this Mr. Roberts as her spouse and then not as her spouse. It doesn't make much sense. Okay, so how do we get here? It says AOC's attorney explained in no uncertain terms in a May 16th letter to the House Ethics Committee that Roberts is considered AOC's spouse only in the context of federal campaign finance law, but not for financial disclosure requirements, which kind of makes this a little murky. You can't do that. I mean, either this guy's your spouse or he's not. You don't get all the good stuff and then you don't want to disclose this man's assets, his financial records. That doesn't work like that. They continues on saying, under this interpretation, AOC has granted her quote-unquote spouse several freebies and perks connected to her service as a member of Congress, including a free $35,000 ticket to attend the 2021 Met Gala, gifted travel to South Korea and Japan. This is in 2023. And a congressional spouse pin. This also grants Roberts access to part of the Capitol complex not accessible to the public. And then continuing on saying there's drawbacks, though, with being a congressional spouse. That includes public disclosure of their financial affairs. But Mr. Roberts isn't subject to those drawbacks because AOC's attorney said under financial disclosure guidance, Mr. Roberts is not considered a spouse. So she's going back and forth on this. She only wants the good stuff that comes with it, but not the financial disclosures. You cannot do that. And what that all means is it's very unclear if or where Mr. Roberts is employed, his debts, his assets, or if he buys or trades stocks in companies that fall under AOC's congressional jurisdiction. This is information that every other congressional spouse publicly discloses except for AOC. So rules for thee, but not for me. And I think President Donald Trump said it best when describing AOC. Check it out.
You know, AOC, look, I think she's very nice, but she's very low IQ. And we really don't need low IQ. Between her and Crockett, we're going to give them both an IQ test to see who comes out best. Now, I took my test. I took a real test at Walter Reed Medical Center, and I aced it. I got every one of all those questions right. Now it's time for them to take a test. Anyway, have a good time.
President Trump said it best when describing AOC, low IQ. This makes no sense. I mean, this is all a black and white crime that we're seeing being committed right in front of our eyes by AOC. He continues on in a separate Truth Social with the recommendation for the Democratic Party as a whole. He says, I have an idea for the Democrats to bring back into play. After years of being left out in the cold, including suffering one of the greatest losses in history, the 2024 presidential election, the Democrats should nominate low IQ candidate Jasmine Crockett for president, and AOC plus 3 should be respectively vice president and 3 high-level members of the cabinet. Added together with our future communist mayor of New York City, Zoran Mamdani, and our country is really screwed. I mean, if they put these folks up, oh my goodness, this would be a show. I would definitely tell you guys, go ahead, grab your popcorn, buckle up. This is going to be better than what we've seen with old Kamala Harris, Word Salads Harris, and Tim Walz. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine these 3 on the campaign trail, or AOC and Jasmine Crockett? This would be full of clips and gaffes and laughs. It will be nothing but theater for us. That's all we would get. We actually have a New Yorkers coming out, giving their opinion, weighing in on how they truly feel about AOC and actually questioning why would anyone trust AOC and Mom Dami to make sure that these folks are good in their city, in their state.
AOC is backing Zohran Mamdani. Would you ever trust anyone that AOC backs?
AOC is a perfect example of a champagne socialist. Low IQ, went to a great college from a rich family, or at least a well-to-do family, blew it, was basically some trollop bartender around New York City, and these idiots think that she's a genius. She failed at everything. She had everything handed to her and couldn't do more than be a waitress. People don't understand. It's funny. Tim Walz said this after the election. He's like, I can't believe people didn't vote for me. I'm not rich. I'm like, people don't want someone like them to lead them. You want someone smarter than you to be a leader. So the fact that these people gravitate towards a loser like this who's accomplished nothing, it speaks a lot to the sort of self-esteem, me culture that we have in this country, especially in these cities with these liberal white people, and how broken that mindset is. AOC is one of the lowest IQ individuals in Congress and in government. She is cancer in every way, toxic.
By her supporting him, it shows what kind of candidate he would even be.
Well, birds of a feather, right? Show me who your friends are, I'll show you who you are. I mean, it's all the same people.
Wow, and that New Yorker put it best, saying low IQ, birds of a feather flock together. AOC, she came from the most privileged background and she still couldn't make much of herself. This lady was a failed bartender, but yet they want her to be the leader. And we got Stephen A. Smith here weighing in on the leadership of the Democratic Party, saying if it's AOC, we're doomed.
You know good and well I wouldn't vote for Mamdani. I wouldn't vote for AOC. I don't like the way Jasmine Crockett is talking. I don't think that helps the Democratic
Party. I have a
Party.
last question.
I don't like
Exit
that.
question. Who are the leaders of your party right now? It's not Hakeem Jeffries and it's not Chuck Schumer. It's all those names I mentioned.
Sean, there is no leader for the Democratic Party. That's why they're in trouble. There is no leader. That's why they're in
Repeat
trouble.
after me.
That one was quite laughable. Stephen A. Smith, I mean, this guy is a Democrat. He's saying it best. There is no leader over there. They're just lost, all wandering around aimlessly like chickens with their heads cut off. They don't know who's going to lead them in this 2028 election. Then we got Liz Warren coming out in a delusional saying the exact opposite, saying the people want AOC. The people need AOC. Can you believe this?
And the people I know and know well, like Mamdani, like Ocasio-Cortez, like Sanders, are all in there fighting, and they know what they're fighting for. They're fighting for an America that's not just controlled by a handful of billionaires who dump literally millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars into campaigns. They want somebody who is actually there to fight for them. And that's what I think these races are about. That's what I think the New York mayoral race is about. And that's what I think the 2026 races all around the country will be about.
Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts.
And with messaging like that, the Dems are going to be doomed for years to come. And like I promised, we're deeply seated in research over here. So we're going to dive into that New York Post article. It dives a little bit deeper into the details of AOC with the ethics violation, scoring essentially free tickets to the Met Gala. And this one starts with saying that Representative Ocasio-Cortez falsely claimed spousal privileges to snag her then boyfriend Riley Roberts a free ticket to the swanky 2021 Met Gala. This is all coming from the House Ethics Committee, which then ordered her to pay back the $250 perk on top of the $3,000 she received in gifts, and rightfully so. I mean, this is a huge red flag, and AOC knows better. I don't know why she thought she was going to get away with this. Then continues on saying that Roberts scored the freebie worth $250 because he is considered a quote-unquote spouse. Ocasio-Cortez's attorney claims to the ethics panel in May as a part of a more than 3-year investigation into the Congresswoman for improperly accepting nearly $3,000 in hair accessories, shoes, and her infamous tax the rich dress. And I mean, I don't know where she gets off on this tax the rich dress. Didn't AOC come from money? I mean, she had a very privileged background, but yet she's talking about tax the rich. Tax yourself? And then AOC, I mean, where does she get off or have the nerve wearing this tax the rich dress? It's really grinding my gears because She was flying from coast to coast all around the United States in a private jet, wasting taxpayer dollars on that whole Bernie Sanders AOC United States tour that amounted to absolutely nothing. I mean, where did that get them? I don't think that did much for the Democratic Party, but she's talking about tax the rich. Okay. All right. Very ironic. Then it continues on saying that she and Roberts got engaged in 2022, a year after their Haught affair, which cost $35,000 per person. This is the Met Gala they're speaking on. Then says House rules prohibits lawmakers from accepting gifts. The panel's July 25th report noted with an exception for tickets to charity balls or widely attended events for themselves, spouses, or children. And this was neither of those. This was a personal affair. AOC trying to do what Jasmine Crockett did. I think it was at the Black Entertainment Awards. She's trying to be a celebrity. That's literally what these representatives on the left are trying to do. They've completely lost sight of what they're actually supposed to be doing in their role. They're not serving the districts whatsoever. Then states a preliminary probe by the Office of Congressional Ethics that preceded the House Ethics Inquiry deemed the move permissible because the Bronx and Queens Democrat opted to treat a long-term significant other as synonymous with a spouse, which was consistent with prior decision. But House Ethics said in a unanimous decision that it was not based on any law or precedent then in existence, since the spousal privileges only apply to members who are legally married. Okay, so this doesn't apply to AOC at all. She's just using and abusing her seat as a representative of her district, which she does quite often. We've already seen that. Then the 26-page report also found that at the same time AOC was seeking to take advantage of the exceptions to the gift rule only applicable to spouses and or certain relatives, she was not disclosing Mr. Roberts' financial interests as is required of members who are legally married. So if you want to play that role, say this guy's your spouse, you have to declare this guy's, or you have to report this guy's financial interests, which AOC refused to do for some reason. I wonder why. Maybe we should look into what's really going on there. Maybe this deems or this is worthy of an investigation. Then they continue on saying members are required to list their spouse's assets and liabilities as part of financial disclosure forms filed annually in the House. The far left rep has co-sponsored a bill this Congress that would also ban stock trades for spouses, though Roberts would have a carve-out given their relationship status if the legislation passes. Additionally, AOC has listed Mr. Roberts as her spouse on paperwork filed with the House relating to privately sponsored travel, although the two were not legally married at the time of the gifted travel. The Ethics Committee stated that the Congresswoman's lawyer acknowledged that Roberts was not a relative under the applicable regulations, but failed to foot the bill. Then we got AOC's Chief of Staff, Mike Koska, coming out saying the Congresswoman appreciates the committee finding that she made efforts to ensure compliance with the House rules and sought to act consistently with her ethical requirements as a member of the House. And then in coordination with the committee, AOC agreed to donate Roberts' $250 ticket prize to a charity that puts on the gala and cough up another $2,700 for the fair market value to wear her infamous tax the rich couture dress. This was designed by Aurora James, as well as luxury shoes, jewelry, a floral handpiece or hairpiece, and a handbag. One of her campaign staffers even stiffed the vendors and then pressured them to knock the price of the dress down from $1,300 to $300, eventually shelling out $990.76 for the attire after being bugged for months and threatened with a New York State Department of Labor referral. The committee valued the glamorous getup at a little over $3,700 in total, including the gown, which has a retail price tag of more than $18,000. And then her chief of staff spoke out saying that she accepts the ruling and will remedy the remaining amounts as she's done at each step of the way in this process. Okay, so AOC completely gets off the hook yet again. Another violation. I don't know about this one. Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness. I want to just speak to the New Yorkers for a second. Is this who you guys want representing you? AOC, rules for thee, but not for me. I mean, you see her taking advantage, getting over on the taxpayers every step of the way, of using and abusing her office in order to live this lavish lifestyle. She views herself as a celebrity. Is this what you guys truly are voting for? You guys want AOC representing you guys, a person that's completely abandoned her district? I just don't understand it. And to everyone now, I just want to say this is the corruption of these loonies on the left. They think they can get away with anything, and almost it looks like they can. You see AOC merely got a slap on the wrist for this ethics violation, only having to fork out a little less than $5,000 for something that was totaled out to be, I mean, think about the dress, $18,000. That was what it, just the dress. She had wardrobe, she had makeup, she had a $35,000 ticket bumped down to $250. I can't even wrap my mind. So we're talking about almost $50,000 right there. AOC only forced to pay a little bit under $5,000 back and donate to charity. I just can't believe it. They continue to get away with this, and it's not going to stop. It's not. AOC isn't going to stop, that's for sure, because she's firsthand getting away with this type of corruption, this type of crime. And she's not really being punished. A mere slap on the wrist is not enough to deter folks from this type of behavior, guys. But definitely hop in the comment section. I had to bring you guys this story. I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking on this one. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next week.